Hello YouTube. Today the purpose of this video is to show you how to prepare the battery for the GooPhone Wi-Fi. If you've seen my previous video, I successfully installed an iPhone 4 battery on the GooPhone Wi-Fi by changing the terminal at the very bottom. Today I'm going to do that, showing you with an actual, this one is an actual 4S battery. This one that I have here is an iPhone 4 battery. It has 1,420 milliamps. This one has actually 1,430 milliamps. I don't know if you can see this right about here. It says 1,430 milliamps. Okay, so this is a great battery. I got this from eBay.com. It came in this nice envelope like this. Okay. I have two GooPhone Wi5. This is the original battery that came with one of them, which I'm taking apart today, and I'm going to show you the necessary steps to complete this. Okay, so let's start by removing this connector, and this is the connector that the iPhone 4S uses. As you can see, it has two holes, which through screws goes on the iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4 connector is only one hole right here, and it only connects with one screw. Okay, so when you get the battery, I already kind of removed the bottom tape, but when you flip it over, usually this is a replacement. So usually, or even the original one, it has like a piece of tape at the bottom. So the first thing we do is we remove that tape. Okay, you peel it off carefully. Do this carefully because the board, you can break the board and it's going to create a mess. Okay, so if you like, you can go ahead and remove that piece of tape. I'm going to go now real quick through the materials you're going to need. Okay, you're going to need several things such as scissors. You're going to need an iron, a soldering machine, which mine is old and beat up, but it still works. You're also going to need some electrical tape. You're going to need some soldering cable. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And then you're going to need, of course, the 4S battery, and you're going to need your old battery from the GooPhone. Okay, so once again, you remove the bottom tape on the battery. Once you do that, now here you're going to see the actual board, but it's sort of like bent over. So when you get it straight like this, here we see the two terminals. So this is the first thing we do. We must desolder these two terminals. Now you must have in mind that when you look at the battery facing the front, if I'm not mistaken, this is the positive and this is the negative. So make sure, because on your original battery you're not going to see that. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to identify it. Usually when your battery is on the GooPhone, well, actually I'll show you that in a moment, how to distinguish which one is the positive and negative on this battery. Okay, but I know this is the positive and this is the negative. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and desolder the terminals so we can remove this board. Okay, this board we're not going to use it because, once again, what this board does, it just gives you the, sorry guys for the focusing. As you can see, what this board gives you is the connection for the iPhone 4S. Okay, so we don't need this. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry guys, I'm I sort of can't see right here, but I'm gonna try to do this where you can also see it. So first you heat it up, and it should be coming out in no time. Okay, it's heating up right now. As you can see, it's about to come out. This one just came out. You just pull it slightly, and the soldering cable just pulls out. Just be careful. You might need to heat it up a little bit with the iron. Okay, so we already removed one side of it. Okay, this you do by once again heating up the terminal with your heat gun. Okay, I'm sorry, this is a soldering gun. So now we're going to remove the other one. Now once you have one removed, you can just go ahead and cut that cable. Now please make sure that you do it on this side like this, okay? And what you're gonna do is with the scissors, okay? I know this is the risky part because sometimes the soldering is a little hard. So as you can see, I already removed one. So what you're gonna do is with the scissors that I told you you're gonna need, you're gonna go ahead and cut through this terminal, okay? But make sure that the scissors don't touch the other terminal, because then you're gonna create a little mini explosion here, okay? So there we go. Now we see here the two terminals. Once again, this is the positive and negative. Okay, so when you look at from the front, where you see all these symbols and whatnot, you're gonna see here the positive and negative. And here is the board connector for the 4S, which we don't need any longer. Okay, so now this being said, now we're gonna take the board out of the original battery, because this board is gonna go into this battery. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that. That way you will have this positive and negative connection, so you can connect it with your GooPhone Wi-Fi. So here we see here the board at the very bottom. So let's take this apart. Just be very careful. We must remove tape as well, as you can see. Okay. And then when you flip it over, here we also see the terminal. Okay. Once again, you see on this side, this is going to be the positive, and this is going to be the negative. Okay. When you look at it from the very top, so even the cable tells you. Okay, the cables, the one on the red cable on this side means that this side is a positive. The black cable on the other side means that this is the negative. Okay, so these two cables tell you exactly how it's going to go. But now you cannot remove these two cables. The black and red cable you don't remove. You only remove this time. You got to heat up the terminal so that this comes out. Okay, so you do that with the heat gun. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. As you can see, I'm gonna have to place it on the. Okay, it gets a little hot. Let me see. Okay, because we must heat up this a little bit in order for it to come out. So here we're gonna need maybe some help. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab one of these. This is a case opener tool. I just happen to have it, and we're gonna place it by the middle. Okay, and let's see now if it comes out. Okay. As you can see, I'm trying here to melt it up. Once again, be very careful with this, guys. There he goes, coming out, as you can see. Now let's see if we can get the other side removed. As you can see, it's already starting to come out. Once we get at least one side out, the other one is usually a little easier. There we go. So now we see here that this side already came off, okay, by once again soldering. Okay, heating up the original soldering that's on there will actually help you remove it. Okay, you can cut these, but as you can see, there's not too much space, so I would recommend heating it up. Okay, so now we're heating up the other side. And what I use this just to try to pull it a little bit, as you can see. So this way it will give me a little. There we go. It's been removed. Okay, because what happens is this converts the soldering into hot liquid metal. is super hot. So what it does is once it's in liquid mode, it's gonna actually come out. Okay, so here is the circuit board for the positive and negative connection. This is what we're gonna use now on the 4S battery, which is this one right here. Okay, so now this is the critical part here. Okay, well, I won't say critical, it's just for you to identify which one is the negative and which one is the positive. Okay, as you can see, try to focus this as best as I can. This side of the battery, the red cable is more to this side, so that means this is the positive, and then the black cable is more to the right side, so that means this is the negative. So we already know that looking at the battery like this, this is going to be the positive and this is going to be the negative. So now we have to adjust, so that means that this goes exactly like this. Okay, this is how it's going to go connected. Okay, so now the way we're going to solder this is going to be by flipping your battery upside down. Okay, and then we're going to connect these two like this, as you can see right here. Okay, so once again, this is going to be positive, this is going to be negative. Okay, and as we see here, this is positive and this is negative. Okay, so what you can do is, the easiest way is to go like this. Okay, and that's going to be your connection. Okay, so now we must solder these two terminals. Okay, this is a scary part, but it's not that scary. This is actually easier to do. Let's see. There you go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, remember the soldering cable? You're going to need some of this stuff. So now, I'm trying to multitask here with my hands. There we go. This is soldering. Now we're going to go, I believe this is the positive terminal. So we're going to go ahead and solder this. This is the best way possible. Okay, there we go. We got a positive soldering here. Now we're going to solder the other little corner right over here. So we're going to need more soldering cable. Melt it onto the iron. As you can see. Now we're going to solder some more on this side. There we go. As you can see, this side is already soldered. Okay, so now we're going to solder the other side of the battery with this terminal. Now this one should be easier because now it's holding it on the other side. So what you can do is flatten a little bit on the top. Okay, like that. As you can see now, the terminal's kind of clean and tight there. And now we solder here a little bit. Okay. It is soldered there, but I just want to add some more just in case. So we're going to get some more soldering here. Okay. So now we're going to get some more soldering material. Now we're going to solder this part. There you go. There we go. Now we have successfully soldered this. Now let's make sure, because now you have to kind of like bend it over. So once you solder it, now you're going to go and do this. Like this. Just so you can put it right down here. So now this part you got to be careful that you don't break the soldering. There we go. go, very good. This one came out successful. Okay. Now you bring the cables to the side, just like it was before. There we go. So you can see. So now this is when the tape. Now we're gonna need some tape, and you're gonna cut it according to the width of the battery. Okay. So because these two terminals cannot touch the metal frame on the GooPhone, otherwise you're gonna explode the battery. So that's why the electrical tape comes in play. So let's get the scissors and let's cut a little piece of tape. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Now we're gonna cut it about this big, and we're gonna cut the tape. Okay, just about that big. Now you're gonna place it on from the top of the battery. Okay, actually still a little big. Let me just cut it a little more. There we go. And now we're gonna place it on top of the battery, right here like this. Okay. And now we're gonna write it along the other side. Okay, just make sure that the terminals are sticking out. Look in the battery like this. From the front, they must be sticking out to the left. That way you can solder it to the motherboard. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and put this like this. Flip it over, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Now we have built a battery that was designed for the 4S. We have built it now for the GooPhone Y5. As you can see here, I'm going to show you real quick. You see the position of the cables are the same as they are down here. So you can see the red cable is really short because the positive connection is right down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove your original battery. Again, with the soldering machine, you're going to keep melting the two terminals. This is the positive, okay, and this is the negative, okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to solder those, and the battery should come out. Okay, you got to remove these two cables. Now make sure that the cables don't touch anything else on the GooPhone, because then you may short something out. But you know, it's quite simple. Okay, so what you do is you heat this part over here and then the other side over here. Okay, so right after that it comes off, and I might make another video and show you how to install it, but it's very easy. The hardest part was making the GooPhone Wi-Fi battery work with the iPhone 4S battery work on the GooPhone. Okay, so as you can see, this is the original terminal that came with it. This gives you the iPhone 4S connection. So now we have successfully transferred that and made it different. Okay, so thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions, and have a good one.